Hello and welcome to Crimes of the Heart Tarot. I'm Miss Vicki, and I'm going to use the tarot to see if we can gain more insight into unsolved mysteries, deaths, and disappearances. Let's get started.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for subscribing. Today I want to do a reading about another Murdaugh. This reading is going to be about the founder of the Murdaugh Empire, Randolph Murdaugh Sr. Now, he founded the law firm in 1910. It was a one-lawyer firm when he first started, and they specialized in wrongful death lawsuits. He was killed July 19th, 1940, at the age of 59 years old, when he drove his car in front of a train onto the railroad tracks and was struck by the train. The car was hurled 900 feet down the track, and Randolph's body was thrown about 150 feet. He had been at a poker game. It was around 1 a.m. in the morning. He'd been at a poker game at a friend's house, and there was a lot of speculation about what happened. So I guess the questions I have, now he had made some enemies and some friends with this wrongful death lawsuits that he did, because there had to be a winner and a loser. And this was after the Great Depression. This was economically a pretty bad time for people. 1940, things were starting to get better. My question, I have three questions, I think. Was it murder? Did someone sabotage his car? Did he do this on purpose? He had been in the hospital, but he was 59 years old and well enough to go to a poker game at a friend's house. Did he do this on purpose? Did he want to end it all? Or was it just an alcoholic fueled accident? He had been drinking, but he wasn't an alcoholic. But was he impaired? Did he accidentally stop his car? Anyway, those are the three questions. So let's see what the cards have to say. This Murdaugh family, I mean, they're plagued with deaths, strange, mysterious deaths, all around them. All right. Now, first question I think we'll ask is, was it murder? Was this somebody getting revenge for being a victim of the lawsuit, a lawsuit? Did someone lose a lot of money? Were they angry at him? I just want to pull a few cards, see what we get. All right, we're asking, was this murder? See what we get. All right. We have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles basically is the start of money. It's the start of a new business. It could be, it's anything of the earth. It could be money. It could be the start of health. Now, it could be good health or bad health. Pentacles can mean health. They can mean money. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is the beginning of truth. This is someone striking out a new opportunity. It's of the mind. It can be, well, back in 1940 they didn't have the internet, but they did have like letters, telegrams, things like that. We're asking if he was murdered. Was it someone who was very angry at him? The King of Swords. I think this is Randolph. This is someone cutting through, I want to say the truth, cutting through people's lives. But this is usually someone of the law, and he was a lawyer. It can be truth. It can be very painful words. Can be thoughts. I believe this is Randolph. Okay, so what do we have next? We've got the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is someone dissatisfied with what they have. Now this is someone being offered something. It can be ego, it can be someone who's just spoiled, not really wanting what they have, even though they have a lot, being offered one more cup. Cups can be alcohol too. So the cards may not answer as I ask the questions, but we'll keep pulling and see overall what we get. This could be drinking, drinking too much. It also could be someone not happy with the outcome of their lawsuit. And then we have the Lovers. Now he was married. There isn't a whole lot that I could find about his wife or his situation. He did leave a widow, and he left a son. I think at least one son. I'm not sure if he had two or not. He had his son Randolph Murdaugh Jr. Okay, now this is somebody working with something, some other person. This is, the Lovers can be, it can mean love, it can mean making a choice too. This is making a choice between two people, picking one person for someone else. That's kind of interesting. 59 years old. I don't know what his marital life was like. I don't know if he had girlfriends. This kind of makes me wonder about that. Someone who wasn't happy. I don't see murder as much as I just see a possible health. This is Randolph Murdaugh. This is him. He's a lawyer with a blade, cutting to the quick, cutting to the truth, cutting people out. But I do see the Cups card. This is someone not happy with what they have been giving. So I'm wondering if there was somebody that was unhappy. But I don't think there was anyone else at the scene of the crime. It would have had to have been someone that tampered with his car. Okay, well I don't see clear murder or anything like that. I don't see a car, I don't see anything like that, but I do see something about possibly another woman involved. Now that may not have anything to do with anything. All right, let's pull a few more cards. Did he drive intentionally onto the train tracks? Did he want to end his life? He was 59. In 1940, 59 was fairly old, not super elderly, but you were over the hill basically at 59. 1940, they didn't have a lot of medical advances then, but they were getting them due to the war. The wars made a lot of progress, but he had been in the hospital. He had been dealing with some health issues. Now he was feeling good enough to go to a poker game at his friend's house. All right, did he do this to himself? All right, we're going to do it this way. Did he purposely drive onto the tracks? Oh, lots of wands. All right. Okay. The Three of Wands. This is waiting for something to come back to you. This is someone who's put effort into something, lots of work, lots of fire, and they're waiting basically for the results. They're waiting for the ships to come in, whatever. So he was waiting for something, it looks like. Whether it had to do with his health, I don't know. Then we have the Four of Wands. Okay, this is building something. This is a happy home. He had a happy home according to these cards. Don't know who the lover was. Maybe he had a mistress and a happy home. But this is having built something, having done something that you're really proud of. And his business, you know, he built that by himself to start. Then we have another Wands card. We have the Two of Wands. This is reaching out into the world, sending out like growth, sending out information to make a decision about something. He decided about something. He was making a choice. It's usually not health, but it could be. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is an ending card. This shows generations having built something spectacular, lots of money. I don't know that he made that much money, but he was successful. His business had been growing for 30 years. He started in 1910. It was 1940 when he died. So he was making progress. And it looks like he had a happy home. Here's some more wands, another wand, Page of Wands. Page of Wands is usually a messenger. This is fire. This is the beginning of growth. So I really don't see that he did this on purpose. The little snapshots we're seeing of his life. It was a happy home. He was waiting for something. He had sent some kind of information out. He was making a decision about something. But wands are usually business. A couple of business cards. And something had come back. I almost think he was going to enlarge his business, possibly even going further out into the world. This isn't a card about bad health. And then he'd been successful. He'd even had a little celebration about how well he was doing. Did he celebrate that night? Was he celebrating something? And did he drink? I'm getting some... we've got the cups card here, that he was being, almost looks like this person's being offered alcohol, but kind of saying, no, that's enough, I have to get home. He may have had a mistress, but I'm not so sure that has anything to do with his death. And then the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is fire. This is somebody who's happy with life. I mean, this is the start of an amazing time for someone. These Wands cards show that his business was really growing. I don't see poor health. And I see that he was doing very well. And so I don't see that he did this on purpose. Let's pull a few more cards and see if it was just an accident. I mean, it was late at night. I think he'd been celebrating something. He'd been at a poker game. He'd been drinking. The cups show he'd been drinking. But he had said, that's enough. I need to go home. Or go to my girlfriend, whatever. If he had a mistress, he was going there. He didn't say where he was going. It was near his home. All right, let's see. Was it just an accident? Did he have a little bit too much to drink that impaired his thoughts? Or even was it, we're talking accident. Now his son did sue the railroad company and said that the conductor didn't do his job, didn't blow his horn, all this. But the conductor said that he saw the car with Randolph sitting next to the railroad tracks. And Randolph actually waved his hand, put his hand up like he was waving. And then he drove onto the tracks. Now, why would he drive in front of a train? I don't know how far away it was when it hit him. Unless he was just impaired. All right. See what else we get. Or was there another reason that it was an accident? The Star. here we go. Now we're getting pentacles, 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 pentacles. Now this is really interesting. The star. This is hope. This is faith. This is a way to go forward. This could also be ego. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This is the beginning of a gift. This is something offered. It's money, the start of money. Then we have the Empress. This is abundance. This is a positive card. I want to say this is his mistress. Now, this is all alleged. This is just my interpretation of the reading, of the cards, of everything. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm seeing women in here, and I don't see this as a matron. I don't see it as an older woman. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, this is a slow-moving knight. Always gets the job done. Money. This is money, this is health. And then we have the King of Pentacles. He was the King of Pentacles. He was making a lot of money. He was successful for that time. And for a self-made man who started his own law firm, in 30 years he'd done very well for himself. He wasn't wealthy, super wealthy, but he was well off. All right, so I don't really see an accident. I see someone, powerful man, an older man. I think he wasn't with anybody, but I think he was thinking about his, I want to say mistress. There was a woman involved. Was she asking for money? I think he had something on his mind. I think he had been drinking. I get the Cups card. I think he might have been being shaken down by some woman. I'm kind of getting the Knight of Pentacles. This is slow moving. He'd been involved with a woman who was not his wife. That's what I'm getting. And this is all speculation. And he had this on his mind. He had been paying her. This is all for entertainment purposes, my reading of the cards only. He was the King of Pentacles, but I don't see this as saying, this card's saying he was a very wealthy man like Alec Murdaugh was, and the people that came after Randolph. He was well-to-do, but this was about, he had money on his mind. So he was preoccupied. I get he was preoccupied. And here's a star. There's another woman. Might have been more than one woman. I'm getting, there was some woman that he was involved with, not his wife, and it had to do with money. It might have been more than one woman. I think he was being blackmailed or something like that. The star is someone who wanted to be famous. This is someone who wanted a lot. Well, I'm really seeing a woman in this, a younger woman. I think he was preoccupied. Now, in the lawsuit, after he died, his son, Randolph Murdaugh Jr., sued the railroad company, and they said that they were negligent because all these things, he threw everything in there, and except the kitchen sink on the lawsuit. The conductor didn't blow the horn like he was supposed to. The tracks were not well maintained, that some kind of light didn't go off. He sued the railroad line, and he won $100,000. They settled out of court, but he received $100,000. That was the equivalent in 1940 of about $2 million. And it really gave the Murdaugh family, the business, the money to really branch out. Now, in 1940, they really started to grow after Randolph's death. He was preoccupied. He had a woman on his mind, and the woman was wanting money. And she was like a star. I wonder if she was like a, boy, I don't know, movie star or something like that. That's what I'm getting. She was really beautiful. I'm getting that. Young. He had that on his mind. He had been drinking. He had been drinking. He'd been doing business deals. He had made a, I want to say this was probably an offer. He made an offer, he made a decision, and he was waiting for the results. Maybe he was going to buy her out or buy her silence or even divorce his wife. I don't see divorce. So the cards are kind of telling me he was very preoccupied. It was a woman, a beautiful woman, a star almost. Maybe she was a movie star or something like that. I see money. He was not a super wealthy man at that time, but he was doing very well for himself. And she was demanding money. That's what I'm getting. His mind was on that. His mind was on, he had some health problems. And if he hadn't been able to see the train tracks very well, I don't really see that. I'm going to pull some major arcana cards. Let's just see a few more cards. All right, we're getting clues. This is a long time ago. We're getting clues. A few more cards. Was this just a combination of having drank a little bit too much, being preoccupied? He was really thinking about this woman and just not being able to see. That was another thing in his son's lawsuit of the railroad company, that there were bushes in the way or something. But the engineer said he waved to him and then drove onto the tracks. I mean, he had to drive onto the tracks, and his car stopped. I don't know. A lot of things were going on in his mind. Okay, just a few more cards. All right, what do we have? All right, we have Temperance. This is about balancing two or more things, usually, several things. It's also about mixing things just right, making things work. It's also about patience. Had he been trying to work this out with this woman, I'm really getting that this was on his mind. The Wheel of Fortune. All right, the Wheel of Fortune can be bad luck or good luck. What goes around comes around. I think he had bad luck that night. And then we have the Justice card. This is really interesting. The Justice card is about balance, it's about fairness, it's about the law. He was a lawyer, and this was his life. He was balancing something. I get that he was balancing his wife with someone else. And he was a lawyer. And look at the Emperor. The Emperor is a powerful man. I don't know that he was an emperor in 1940, but he may have been in that area. South Carolina was fairly poor. And then we have the Devil. There's the Devil. Okay. I almost get what goes around comes around. He was doing something he shouldn't have been doing with another woman. I almost get maybe two women besides his wife. He had this on his mind. He had been drinking. I don't know about drugs back then. Possibly. I mean, drugs were around. Yes, he was dealing with the devil energy in his life, which was another woman, or even two women. And one was like a movie star, really beautiful and young, wanting money, wanting this, wanting that. He was trying to balance everything. Balance the devil with the good angel. He was trying to work things out. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think he had been drinking. I think he had all these things on his mind. The justice card. Maybe he was just trying to work out what am I going to do? If he tells my wife will divorce me and take all my money. If I don't make her happy, she'll leave me. This is what he was working on, and he was a lawyer. The Emperor is just a powerful man, and in the eyes of his mistress, she thought he was a lot more wealthy than he was. That's what I'm getting. I'm just getting that from the cards. All right, I'm going to close the circle. I think that's what happened. He had a lot of things on his mind that night. He had been drinking. He had possibly some health issues. He'd been in the hospital. He'd been playing poker with a friend. He had a mistress or mistresses that were really occupying his mind. He was trying to balance things out with that. And he was walking on the dark side with them. I don't know what else he was doing. It could have been, this is obsession. This is addiction. This could be, this isn't just, and this is only my opinion of the cards. This is all alleged. I did not know the man. He died before I was born. But I think he could have even been into something darker than just having a mistress. She was going to expose him. She wanted money. He was preoccupied. All right, I'm going to close the circle. I'd like to know what you think. The family is so steeped in strange deaths, darkness, all kinds of things going on with them. And this conviction of Alec Murdaugh for the murder of his wife and child, it's almost like the family's cursed. And I didn't do a reading on that because the devil came up, which tells me a lot. It's possible that the family has been doing dark things for a long time. I mean, there are families that just start out dark and they just go on from son to son, daughter to daughter, down the line. That's what I'm getting. All right, I've closed the circle. Please leave kind comments. I'd like to know what you think. And subscribe and like and share and watch Afterlife Adventures with Amanda. And we'll see you next time. Bye.